Rhythm and Repression Inside the Secret Trial of an Iranian Rapper. Behind closed doors, the secret trial of Iranian rapper Tumaj Salehi has raised alarm among lawyers, activists, and citizens who fear for his well being and the lack of transparency in his case. Salehi, a dissident musician who openly opposes the Islamic Republic, was arrested last October and has been detained for over 230 days, the majority of that time served in solitary confinement. He was recently charged with moharabeh, an offense that translates to waging war against God, which is punishable by death according to Iran's Islamic Sharia law. Reports of his mistreatment and torture have sparked international concern, and the US government is pledging to monitor his situation. Iranians both inside the country and in the diaspora have rallied in support of Salehi, demanding justice and fair treatment. Representatives from Germany, Austria, New Zealand, and Italy, who serve as his political sponsors, have also expressed their worries and demanded access to his court files. Salehi's powerful protest songs have resonated with many, shedding light on social issues and government injustices. His arrest came shortly after a candid interview with foreign media where he condemned the regime's corruption and oppression. As the trial unfolds in secrecy, the world stays vigilant while demanding Tumaj's immediate and unconditional release. So I wanted to cover this because I want people to be aware that the fallout of the uprising and revolution in Iran still continues to this day. And we've talked about Tumaj a lot in the past. He's a personal hero of mine. And there's this very important update in his case. So, like I said before, a few months ago, he was charged with moharabeh, waging war against God. And this is a charge that carries the death penalty as a potential consequence of sentencing. And now, he was in prison for months, in solitary confinement for months, which is a form of torture in and of itself. And now there is word that the government has started a secret trial from him behind closed doors. And so now it's a particularly important time to stay very focused and raise awareness about his case while this trial is happening in secret. Um, and Armin, I was wondering, have you heard anything more about what's going on in his case on the Persian side of things? Because you have more access to information in Farsi than I do in English.
No, it's a complete. I mean, as far as I know, it's completely blackout. That's a problem, right? That's a problem that people don't have access to him. And I just want to remind everybody, this is against the laws of Iran.
Hmm.
Like Iran's own current laws, they don't care. They have the laws and they don't do it. They don't abide by them. They have he has to have access to a lawyer. People have to be able to know what's happening to him, and they don't care. They violate their own laws. They take their own the standards that they have put in for their own justice system. They turn it into a joke. Which makes the entire country to a joke when you don't respect your own laws. I mean, your laws are a joke, but even the very flawed laws that you have, you don't even abide by them.
They used to at least
Insane.
try to kind of pretend. Not
Yeah.
even really pretend, but like kind of. Now they like straight up just don't even pretend.
Yeah. And they tortured this guy. And I also want to remind everybody, this man, when he was rapping and when he was creating his pieces against the government, he knew that this is going to happen to him. He had songs about what should people do and how they should behave once he gets arrested and tortured. So he was doing this knowing that this is going to be his what, and he was telling. And you know what, Susanna, do you know when he told people his recommendations to people when he gets arrested and tortured or killed? He was telling people to not focus on him and keep on fighting. He was like, move on past me and fight. He was like, don't we don't have time for crying. We're in the middle of a war, and we don't have time for crying for each other. What you need to do once they come for me is pick up my gun, and do what I was doing. Come into the streets. I have to find the video. I wish I had found this before. I have to find the video of the night that they issued his arrest, and they know he was coming. They were coming for him. The night that he knew that he's going to disappear for a very, very long time, and maybe executed. He said he was talking to his friend, and they were recording themselves. And like, they're coming for me. Let's go out for a drink, or let's go out eat something before they come for me. Like, and they were smiling, they were laughing, knowing that he's about to get tortured and maybe hanged for his crimes. He had songs recreating the scene of his arrest before it happened.
In his forced confessions, scenes of his own torture before it happened.
Scenes of his. So he knew he's going to be arrested. So in his music video, he created that scene that's going to happen. And guess what? When they arrested him, as a way to poke at him, they released a video of his forced confessions, and they copied his music video.
They made it look like the same director did it.
Yes, the government, the people who are torturing him, they released a video of his forced confessions, and they mirrored the music video. And I don't know why they did that. Like, is that like a message to, like, we could do whatever we want?
Yes.
People put the music video and the forced confession side by side. Even the place that the person was sitting, the person that was doing the interrogation was sitting, the pen, the cup on the table, everything was mirrored. It was insane. I need to find that video.
I think, like, for people who are not familiar with Toomaj's work, like, I don't know if people know the way in which this man is just loved and appreciated for being a lion for his people, a lion for every Iranian that wants freedom. I mean, Toomaj is on a different level. Every music video, every video you see, he has a necklace with a bullet around his neck. And in his songs, his most famous song, he's saying to every corrupt official, to every murderer, to every oppressor, he's saying, our time is coming and you're going to need to find rat holes. His most famous song is called Rat Hole. Because you guys are going to need to go live in your rat holes when we come to power, because we are going to seek justice. Like, talk about having no chill. Like, Toomaj is such a hero of mine, not only because he was the first Persian rapper that I was ever introduced to, and now it's something that I really love, but also because his songs are very complex. They're deeply referential to Iranian history and social issues. And he radiates so much positivity. Like, he had a lot of videos on his Instagram where he would go live and talk to people and just tell them, like, you deserve rights. They should be the ones that are afraid. We are the ones we're not doing anything wrong by protesting. They're the ones doing things wrong by murdering us, by RAPing our children systematically, by torturing us. They're the ones that should be afraid, not you. And one of his most famous songs is my favorite. It's called Bazmande. It means survivor. And he's basically saying, give it to me. Give me back Iran so I can rebuild it myself. That's the chorus. Bedimiman. Give it to me. Give it to me. You destroy it so that I can rebuild it back myself. And I just get particularly emotional when I think about his case, because he also released another song, I think it was last year, and the chorus of the song, if you translate it, he's basically saying, noose, noose, noose. I kiss the noose with honor. And then he basically goes on to say, because that was the fate of the best of my country. The best of my country, they kiss the noose. So I'll be happy to kiss the noose with honor. And I mean, it just really takes it out of me. And, you know, he was always really passionate about talking about all the Iranians that struggle deeply with poverty. There are a lot of Iranians that just do a self-deletion because of how bad the poverty is. It's like an epidemic in some places. And he would put forward these messages basically saying, like, no matter how downtrodden you are, no matter if you're one of these kids picking garbage off the street, like, I want you to know that there's someone out there that loves you. Like, I'm the one that loves you. Like, I don't know. So this trial happening is like really important to me. And I literally have like a little free Tumaj keychain like on my keys that I take everywhere. Um and I just really hope that one day we can see his smile again. Because he just really, like, even though his lyrics were so intense and carried so much retribution in them, at the same time he is like this really soft and loving man that just had such a sweet smile, and I hope we can see it again.
Should we listen to some of the song?
Well, do you think we'll get a copyright claim?
I don't think so.
Okay, if you want to, I would love to.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Let's just do it.
How much? So guys, this is his most famous song, Soruk Mush, which means rat hole, that I was talking about earlier.
اگه دیدی درد مردم و ولی چشاتو بستی، ظلم به مظلوم رو دیدی و از کنارش رفتی، اگه از ترس یا واسه منفعتت خوده کردی، تو هم دست ظالم هستی، تو هم مجرم هستی. اگه خودتو به خواب زدی وقتی که خونا رو میریختن، گرفتار کسبتی وقتی جون جوونا رو میگیرن، اگه وسط بازی وسط بودی و گفتی سیاست چی هست، بدون رأی سفید نداریم بی‌طرف نداره این جنگ، اگه دست رو چشمات گذاشتی دستات خونیان، خائنی اگه تریبون داری و حرفات بو میدن، دوری از وطن و دوربینای ما کمسو نیستن، یادت باشه کثافتای پشت ابر لا میرن، اگه سرپوش گذاشتی رو قتل تو هم قاتلی، واسه پوشوندن جنایت باید رو خون راه بری، بدون مال کشیدن تو این سیستم کامل نیست، ایران اینقدر زندان داره که همتون جا بشین، ژورنالیست بازاری، مخبر دوزاری، هنرمند درباری، سوراخ موش بخر، مأمور معذور از بالا دستور، جلاد مجبور، سوراخ موش بخر، سوپ اطمینان منصوب بی اختیار، اصلاح طلب حزب با سوراخ موش بخر، صادراتی نایی یا کی زیرو رو که شار جایی بده هرچی دلار داری، سوراخ موش بخر.
So I don't want, if I translate every single line, it will take forever, but I just want to give you the gist of it. The gist of the message is that if you're one of the people who are standing by and not saying anything and not doing anything, and you're saying I'm not political and you're not getting involved, you are with the oppressors. You're part of the problem. You're with the government, basically. Like, there's no middle ground, so that's what he's saying. He's telling people to take a side, to stand their ground, to fight. So that's what he's saying to the people who are silent and not doing anything. And he's also, to the people who are with the government, he's telling them that the time is going to end, and it's time for them to buy rat holes, because that's the only place that they will be able to hide once this whole thing is over. It's very, very powerful and aggressive, and rightfully so. So
Yeah,
that's what it's like. Yeah,
it's
so
fearless, insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So Guys, it's important to raise awareness about his case. If you use social media, use the hashtag #FreeToomaj. It's important to get a lot of sunlight and exposure on this issue and to stay up to date on the fate of these people who are fighting for their lives, fighting for their freedoms. We can't forget about them because it's not over. So we need to, keep our eyes on them because otherwise it's a betrayal. And I recommend my favorite Toomaj song is Basmande. Go look that up. That's the best one, in my opinion.
Oh, I should have played that one then, if that's your favorite.
Basmande is so good. Bedimi man.
No, this one is my favorite. Anyways, we got a lot of super chats, but in the meantime, and one of them was $50.
I know,
John. Wow, John, thank you so much. $50 super chat. You want to read that?
Yeah, John Mathers, $50. Wow, thank you. Saying you guys are great. Thanks for the news. Well, thank you, John. Like your support like this is what makes this program possible. So this goes a huge ways and really, really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it feels really wonderful when people put their own hard-earned money towards what we do because it really shows how much they appreciate it, enough to spend their money on us and believe in what we do. Sid Dave gave us $10 and says the treatment of religious minorities in Iran, Pakistan, and Egypt is worse than in South African apartheid and Jim Crow in the US. Agree or disagree? Should Muslim world pay reparations to its religious minorities? Oh God. That's kind of hard to quantify. How do you quantify which is worse? It is systematic discrimination and abuse, 100%.
Yeah. I have to be more educated about exactly how things were in South Africa, apartheid South. I know things were bad. I don't know exactly the details. I just know it was bad. So I think, and I don't think these things it's easy to measure these things.
Yeah, I mean, America went through a period that can only be described as like racial terrorism. So
yeah. So here's the thing. I think religious minorities, I don't know, but if you change religious minorities to people that left religion, then it would be an obvious yes. Because religious minorities still enjoy some levels of protection, whereas leaving religion has the death penalty on the books for them. So I think that would be so. I mean, as bad as religious minorities are, the situation like ex-Muslims, it doesn't compete with that, right? And should Muslim world pay reparations to religious minorities? To religious minorities, I mean, get to the point where they're not being discriminated first. Like, I think that's. I mean, if we even get to a point to be having that discussion, that means we're living in a much better world. Like things have changed dramatically. If we're even get to the place that discussion is being had. So, yeah, but yeah, and I don't think it's the Muslim world. I think this should be evaluated every country specifically. Like,
yes,
the Muslim world is not responsible. One Muslim country is not responsible for another Muslim country's wrongdoings just because they have the major religion in the both of them happen to be the same thing. I think the entity that is responsible for any harms done to a group of people is the government. It's not the Muslim world. It's governments.
Yeah.
That you hold responsible. Yeah, and government of each country to the citizens of that country.
I know, especially when you think about like the Jewish expulsion. Oh my God. Okay, we got a super chat from David the Goliath. Thank you, David, saying, what do you think about the Indian left? Are they the same? They are the same on gay rights as the BJP, but support Sharia law for Muslims. BJP wants to abolish Sharia. I find it difficult to vote left because of the alliance with Islamism. I'm not going to pretend to be the most knowledgeable about the Indian left or their alliance with Islamism. They do have a lot of opinions that I don't appreciate because they conflate protecting Muslims with protecting like Muslim personal law, which I hate Muslim personal law. I also think that India should move towards a uniform civil code. because I mean, one, the personal law system is just straight up confusing, but also it's not my country and I'm not a lawyer. But also the idea of having different laws for different people on the basis of their religion just doesn't make sense to me. It's never sat right with me. I do understand the historical context that gave rise to that system. However, I think India should move past it. So yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's overgeneralization or not. I met some people in India that consider themselves to be left and don't support Sharia law. So I don't know if it's fair to. Yeah, so I don't know if it's fair to. But maybe you're talking about the political parties. I have heard that the political parties are too friendly with not just with actually Islamic values and defend them, which is sad. I don't think, as bad as that is, I don't think that it's as big of a threat to India as the BJP is. So I think it's a lesser evil, and it makes sense to choose a lesser evil. Just look at what happened to the US when people were not refused to choose between the lesser evil because that was also evil. Look what happened to them. So when people say I refuse to choose the lesser evil because I don't want to choose evil, that is idealistic. That's not pragmatic. Pick the lesser evil, which I think in India would be the left. So Pakistan Defense Force is back saying I'm sorry. Okay, you could be here with this account because I semi accept your apology.
But you're on notice.
You're on notice. Yes.
Have a better attitude. God damn.
Yes.
We are people too. Shit.
Oh, by the way, one thing else about that last question. India should just Ambedkar, everything you need, your attitude towards secularism, liberalism, Islam, Hinduism, you already have a role model to use as a reference point.
And Dr. his name is Baba Saheb, okay?
Baba Saheb, yes.
If it came out of his mouth, it is gold. No, I'm kidding. I don't accept anything that anyone says uncritically, but Ambedkar is, he's a hero.
But yeah,
for sure.
I mean, do leftists in India not respect Dr. Ambedkar? I
don't know.
They do. And he hated Islam. He hated Islam and Hinduism. So why don't they just hit them with the Dr. Ambedkar argument that they had?
Politically inconvenient.
I'm
never coming back. SpongeBob voice. 15 minutes later. Okay, we got 2 more super chats. Asian America, thank you again for $5, saying that the Maori use educational investment as a form of reparations in Aotearoa. Excuse me if I say the Maori word for New Zealand incorrectly. But yes, the way that the Maori do it in New Zealand, they have a really good system. I love that white New Zealanders are included in learning things like the haka, and to see high schools, they all have their own haka, and to see all these kids of different ethnicities across the country engaging in indigenous practice, I think is so valuable, because we do not value and we do not protect what we are not familiar with. So if all the children across different ethnicities are taught to be familiar with the indigenous culture of that country, they're more likely to appreciate it and want to protect it. So I wish we did that in the United States, honestly. Trells also gave a super chat, thank you, saying an old Danish freedom song, "Freedom is the best gold, like the sun shining on the soil. Let it be your ornament. Yes, since you love yourself, hold it dearer than life, for freedom follows honor." Yes.
That's good. That was cool. Okay, I'm gonna go, guys. I stay hydrated. People wonder why I leave so many times. Okay, I drink a lot of water. Okay, it's good for you.
I know, and I have a smaller bladder than you, and I have to sit here and I have to take it.
Wait, why do you have to take it? You could go take a break.
I don't have time. I'm not allowed.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna clap.
When can I take a break?
Wait, Ronnie just said something. Can we give us a super chat? Let's do the super chat before we go. Okay.
Thank you for the $5, Ronnie. Saying if the BJP abolishes Sharia and brings in an enlightened uniform civil code, I would certainly consider voting for them. That would be a great thing for women in India. Here's the thing: a uniform civil code would be a great thing for women in India.
Yeah. That would I would salute the BJP for that specific thing if and when they do that. But that only that specific thing. Okay, other things I could condemn.